What? Bang!
Pro Wrestling Podcast. Just when they think they got the answers, I change the question.
Rep screws rep.
Yeah. Woo!
Who are you to doubt El Dandy? Because this guy's a serious professional.
Did he do it?
Too hot to handle and too cold to hold. And I am the Macho King Savage.
Shut your mouth, you thong-wearing fatty. I said WWE stands for... It's me, Austin. I will never retire.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Hey, yo, Pro Wrestling Podcast listeners, welcome to the show where we don't sing it, we bring it. Help us out and click subscribe to show us your support. Let's be honest. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We'd appreciate all of it. No matter where you find our show, we're on all social media. You can find us Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Odyssey, Daily Motion, Blue Sky, you name it, we're there. Instagram, we're on everything. Please support the channel any way you can. We would appreciate that. It helps with the logarithm, helps us bring you more content. If you are sick and tired of dropping 60, 70, 80, $100, who knows, for the latest and greatest wrestling video game every single year, stop immediately. Go to Wrestler Unstoppable. Available now, totally free. All you got to do is hit their website, app.wrestlerunstoppable.com, where it's totally free to create a wrestler, sign contracts, get into storylines, headline PLEs, even build your own corporation from the ground up, all included in Wrestler Unstoppable, available totally free. When you're in the program, look up Odin Maximus. That's my avatar. I'll be happy to help you get started in the game. From there, if you want to become a member of the Pro Wrestling Podcast family, you want your name in the shoutouts like my good buddy John down in Texas, then pop over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Pro Wrestling Podcast. Sign up today, and here's the deal. There are multiple tiers. I got 4 tiers for you, okay? One is the free tier. There's no cost, no obligation. You sign up for the free tier, and every time we put a new article up, it'll automatically send you an email notifying you. You can tune in and don't miss a thing. Catch every episode we put up. If you would like to be a monetary supporter of the show, if you like the content we're putting out there, any monetary donation will get you into the shoutouts like John down in Texas. If you are somebody who is looking to be a part of the show, you want to co-host with me, any $15 a month contributor gets the guarantee of hosting a show with me. $7.50 a month, you get entered into a drawing to also potentially host a show with myself. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight for this episode of the Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Dr. Fro, and I am here to bring you tonight conversation all over the world of professional wrestling. And look, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I'm bouncing all over the place. The topics are wide and vast, cover all different companies. So let's kick it off with this. WWE talking about KO versus CM Punk. The match that is on SmackDown is supposedly a one-off. This is a once-and-done deal designed to get Kevin Owens into a major storyline. Now, we don't know if he's going to walk out as champion, because the betting odds have him winning the match, but not necessarily the championship. So there could be some kind of schmoz ending, disqualification, count out, something ridiculous. But either way, Kevin Owens is, and CM Punk is supposed to be a one-off, which is kind of a shame because this is something we've all been waiting for a long time. And those interview vignette, or whatever you want to call them, segments, promo segments on SmackDown have been some of the best television programming in WWE altogether recently. And you're going to use all that momentum, all that really solid fan engagement for one match and then not revisit it. That to me seems like a missed opportunity. Maybe these guys just hate each other so much they agree to do this one time only and move on. But really a shame because there's so much more that can be done. But as I said, for this moment, it is considered to be a one-off. In addition, WWE news on December 12th is the theorized or postulated idea for when the John Cena Classic will take place, which is almost a year to the day since John Cena retired. Now, if you remember, the John Cena Classic is supposed to be an opportunity to bring NXT talent to integrate with WWE main roster talent in much the same way the Last Time Is Now tournament did, where we had a lot of guys from NXT come up and get some main roster exposure. You got to see a host of things. John Cena's last night, you got to see Cody and Obafemi, like all kinds of really great stuff. So I like the idea still. I don't like that it wasn't fleshed out more before now. I think they rushed the announcement just to get a pop in viewership and ticket sales. But at this point, they haven't given up on the option. It'll be something it looks like we're going to be getting after Survivor Series in December. Great way to close out the year for WWE. We'll have to wait and see what other details become available in the coming weeks. In addition, WWE having their hands all over Busted Open Radio ever since the launch of WWE on SiriusXM, WWE's channel, where they took over the Wrestling Nation 24/7. Now, here's the thing. There's a report today, Wrestling Inc. has a report up that WWE is trying to, stay hands off of Busted Open. And Busted Open's still free to talk about creative decisions and booking decisions and all of that. I get it, because when you spin it that way, it sounds like WWE is not becoming a problem. However, Busted Open Radio used to do things like AEW Dynamite After Dark. We're not seeing that anymore. We used to hear them talk about AEW, do interviews with AEW talent, and we're not seeing that anymore because it's not Wrestling Nation. Now it's WWE Radio, which is vastly different. So even if you're not telling them what to say about WWE's product, it is still a significantly reduced and neutered product, something that I, frankly, am thrilled that I'm not listening to anymore. I even got rid of my SiriusXM subscription. That was really the only channel I tuned into. I would put it on in the car and leave it on. Now, I have no reason to care, no reason to want to hear that. Anything they're going to say, I could catch in the YouTube shorts and things like that. If they're not going to incorporate all of wrestling, then to me, it's just another WWE product, and I catch enough of those myself. I don't need to watch another one on SiriusXM and pay an extra fee for something that really is a fluff piece. I know they're saying they're not getting involved, but it's still a fluff piece if you're not putting AEW conversation in there. Sort of WWE related, AAA Triple Mania 34 coming up. We're going to see it September 11th to the 13th, 2-night event, one in Las Vegas, one down in Mexico City. And it was announced today that both nights, full shows, are going to be available on YouTube, which is a little different from what they've done with recent shows where they've broken it up into different segments and put it on their YouTube channel. These are going to be full shows, and right now, we only know of one match. On night 2, September 13th in Mexico City, we'll see Dominic Mysterio defend the AAA Mega Championship against El Grande Americano. I fully expect El Grande Americano to win the championship there. He is so popular in Mexico. I can't see them doing anything different. But again, I do still expect to see something major at the Night 1 event, because that's the one held in Las Vegas, where WWE will be having television executives in attendance trying to get a television deal for AAA in the United States. So I'm expecting some match announcements coming shortly after Sunday night's main event, so we can start building toward this event and really beef it up. After that, you have Worlds Collide shortly after, so you got a lot of AAA stuff coming up, and you really want to bolster the reputation of the program to encourage advertisers, television distribution companies to want to, take a peek at that product and potentially make an offer. So we'll have to see how that plays out. Should be an exciting time for AAA. Going to get some of the best exposure they've ever seen. According to Wrestling Observer newsletter, there's been a conversation about Bayley's status in WWE. The fact that Bayley was mentioned on Raw this week by Lyra Valkyria, if Bayley was leaving WWE and there was no hope of her coming back, the consensus opinion on Wrestling Observer's newsletter is that Bayley is either coming back, re-signed, or something like that, or they just wouldn't have said anything. If the angle where they had her beaten so badly by Lyra Valkyria was designed to write her off TV and for her to ride off into the sunset, they would not continue to bring her up. That's the theory. Now, I like the theory. I like the idea. I've said it before. Yes, I would love to see her in AEW because there's a lot of matches we've never seen before. But I don't know if Bayley fits the AEW style. I really don't. I understand she's tough. I'm not taking anything away from her. Mercedes has proven that, you can go from WWE and be very successful in AEW. but I just feel like she is a WWE girl through and through. This is somebody who I could see finishing her career in WWE and then being in NXT, developing talent. She loves NXT. She loves her independent stuff she does, helping young talent. I really feel like there's a place for her in WWE. And I'm not saying that I'd rather see her go back to WWE, fight Lara Valkyria one more time, and then move on to something else. She's done everything there is to do in WWE, but it feels like home, in my opinion, when I think about her. I'm struggling to see her going to AEW, changing her name, obviously, because WWE owns the Bayley name. And I understand she had a name that she performed under before she went to WWE. I understand all of that. But I'm struggling with it. I really am. And I actually kind of agree they did bring her up. Now, maybe they're just getting more comfortable talking about people who aren't in the company anymore. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But with some of the news that we reported on a previous episode about so many contracts in both AEW and WWE expiring very soon, hers is one that a lot of people have talked about possibly expiring and being able to show up in AEW in short order, maybe around October, November, December-ish. So we'll have to wait and see for sure. But until she actually shows up on a television program, I'm still going to be skeptical that she's staying because, let's be honest, Tony Khan to get Bayley would pay top dollar and she'd get to go work with her best friend, be able to put on some great matches, great shows, really showcase the physicality that made the women's division in WWE really pop when they came out with like this whole women's evolution, the 4 horsewomen, all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, that might be too much to pass on if you're Bayley. So again, have to wait and see. Some breaking news at Death Before Dishonor. A lot of things have gone down, and the show's not even over yet. But I do have 2 things I will highlight. The Lethal Twist did win the Ring of Honor 6-Man Tag Team Championship. Congratulations to Jay Lethal and his team. Little surprised. I actually thought that the titles were going to be retained by the Outrunners and Dalton Castle, but no, there's a title change there. And the really interesting late-breaking news was that Eddie Kingston is not medically cleared to participate tonight. So he was pulled from Death Before Dishonor, pulled out of the Continental Classic, and instead, at Death Before Dishonor, there was a match won by Daniel Garcia, who will now take his place in the Continental Classic Cup, or whatever you want to call it, against Claudio Castagnoli, who, again, is another Death Rider member. So now you're going to have a matchup of Death Rider stablemates in the next round of on Collision of the Continental Championship tournament. So interesting stuff going on there. And I'm assuming, of course, all assumptions, that it has to be a legitimate injury because he just came back and he was so over. And I really don't see a reason for him to be pulled out for a faux injury. It's already bad enough that they pulled, oh my goodness, Nigel McGuinness tonight out of his match for the Ring of Honor Pure title with Lee Moriarty and put in Katsuyori Shibata, who, by the way, Shibata lost the match, so Moriarty retained. So I'm sure they'll do something down the line with the two of them again, with he and Nigel McGuinness. But I don't see a reason to pull Eddie Kingston unless it's a legit injury. So I hope not, because I really would love to see him stop having such an injury history. He's been trying so hard to get back. I don't want to see him out for any length of time again. There is a report coming out that AEW talent is very much fed up with how long some of these shows are going. The 2-hour shows lately for the last 6 or 7 weeks have been going 2.5, 2 hours and 45 minutes, longer shows than normal. The runovers, some of these people who work for AEW are getting back to the hotel and the show is still going. And it's frustrating to them. The pacing needs to be changed. They don't understand what's going on. Why is Tony Khan letting this happen in the rest of the booking committee? And one of the 2 actually things that really make this very baffling is the fact that there is no additional pay for AEW for the overrun time. That's their issue to deal with. They don't get paid for that time. So not only are you frustrating your talent by making them work longer, you're not getting any kickback for it. And what they've been noting is that as the shows run longer, viewership tends to dip for AEW. It's not like back in the Nitro days in WCW, where like that overrun of 6, 7, 8 minutes typically would have a big angle and you get a big pop in views right before the end of the show leading into the next showing of the show. This is different. They're seeing a drop off in views. So when you have one of your prime storylines coming on last in the overrun, a smaller audience is watching that overrun. So the effect that you want to get from having that is to really push your prime stories, but you're not getting that because people are leaving and stopping watching because the shows are going too long. And look, it's not me. I love professional wrestling. I will watch the shows as long as they're on. I don't care, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. I don't care. I always appreciate it. I've heard, how people talk about how, like, the crowds come down after big matches and stuff. Dude, I'll go all day, every day. I am a diehard, and I think some of you tuning into this show probably are too. And if that's the case, we probably love these longer shows, but there are some people who the more mainstream wrestling fans, like the fly-by-nighters, they will like wrestling, they enjoy wrestling, maybe they go to a show, especially AEW because it's more affordable, but if they're not overly engaged or plugged in, they don't have the endurance that some of us diehards do, so I'm not surprised you see viewership drop, and that's problematic. Now, heading into All In, you want to see viewership through the roof. Now, they're estimating that All In is going to be the 3rd highest grossing gate in AEW history based on the current trajectory. That being said, there's something that we're still wondering about, and that's that Joker entrant into the AEW Casino Gauntlet at All In. We're not sure who's going to occupy that spot, and if you were listening to Sean Ross Sapp, he was hypothesizing who some of the possibilities are. Now, some of them make sense, but don't make sense. I'll throw a couple out there. Roosh, Mike Bailey, Jack Perry, Claudio Castagnoli, Pac, Chris Jericho, Mark Davis. None of those do it for me. The regular AEW guys, there's no reason to give them this shock entrance opportunity. I don't like any of those. Now, some of the other ones he mentioned, Zack Sabre Jr., that's a little more interesting because he's a New Japan guy doing a crossover. Give him a strong showing. If you want to do more with him, maybe you put him over in a big way. Maybe don't let him win it, but put him over in a big way. So he's intriguing, but I don't think you give it to him. Mystico is another one that they mentioned, possibly. The thing with Mystico is he has a history with MJF, but MJF is supposed to be having this feud thing going on with Andrade, which is the whole reason they got the number 1 and number 2 entrant into the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal to begin with. So I don't think you add Mystico to that mix because that doesn't make a lot of sense. And so if you're not going to change up the Andrade and MJF situation, that leaves a few other options that could be there just for the pure shock value. So in my opinion, let's go from I hate to say it this way because I don't want to sound disrespectful, but from the least impactful to the most impactful. Buddy Matthews, cleared to return to the ring. We haven't seen him in a significant amount of time. He's been off with that broken ankle situation. He is medically cleared, has not been brought back to TV yet. It could be Buddy Matthews. Again, I don't think he's a big enough star. Not that I wouldn't love to see him be a big enough star, but no one's ever booked him to be a big enough star to come back and take that spot. I would love to see him get a premium program as a single star because I think he's got the in-ring talent to do that, but it hasn't happened yet, so I don't think he's big enough for that spot. The second one is Keith Lee. We haven't seen Keith Lee in over 2 years. He's been out, talks of cardiovascular concerns, other physical injuries and things possibly being retired, stuff like that. Could it be Keith Lee? Would that be a big return? Absolutely. I think I would love to see that, especially if he's able to come back full-time. I'm all in on Keith Lee. I just don't buy that. And that leaves us with 3 other options. 1 in-house, 2 out-of-house. The in-house, Paul White, former Big Show. He's been talking about not wanting to just do stuff in commentary and stuff, wanting to get back in the ring, working so hard after hip replacements and things like that to get back in the ring. I would not be surprised if Paul White was the guy. He's not looking to be world champion or anything like that, so you get a meaningful return for him to the ring on your biggest show of the year in a meaningful match. He could get eliminated, but it could still give you a huge moment that would go viral on social media. So he's a very good possibility. But the other 2 to me are much more intriguing. 1, Sheamus. We reported months ago that Sheamus was going to be let out of his WWE contract. We don't know when his no-compete clause comes up because we don't actually know when his contract supposedly ran out. Conflicting reports about how long his contract was for, whether they were letting him out of it early, if it actually ran out already, does it run out in October? With the report coming out the other day about WWE contracts running out in October, he could be one of those, so maybe he's not available, maybe he is available. I don't know. He did confirm that he was leaving WWE, so I don't know. It's been quite a while. Is his no-compete passed? You do the math. I don't know. Sheamus would be interesting to me, especially if Claudio is in the Battle Royal. He and Castagnoli, former The Bar tag team, would be an interesting thing to see in Wembley. if they were, say, the last two, or at some point had a chance when everybody else was thrown out of the ring or like through the ropes or whatever, to have a few minutes in the ring together. I think that would be an awesome moment. And of course, the biggest shocker would be, because a contract expiration does not carry a 90-day no-compete clause, Ilya Dragunov appearing at AEW All In. They're going to be in Europe. He's a free agent. He can appear for anybody he wants. Why not make the biggest impact if AEW is indeed where you want to go? And the word was that the reason he left WWE was WWE wanted to keep him. This was not something where they were just turning the page. This also was not a lowball thing. It's being reported, especially today, Wrestling Observer reporting that his contract with WWE, his last contract, was a very generous contract to get him in the company, and that he wanted to negotiate for even more money, but that they saw him as a very good in-ring worker, but not someone who moved the needle in terms of ticket sales and monetary return on investment. So they were not willing to meet him at the dollar value that he felt he was worth. There are a lot of people saying they don't think he'll go back to WXW where he came from, because he has now priced himself kind of out of that. Possibly go to Progress where Malachi Black is going. That's one option. But the biggest option, I think, on the table, yet New Japan's a possibility. CMLL is a possibility. But I really think, even TNA is even a possibility, but I really think with his hard-hitting style, AEW, the kind of money Tony Khan throws around, maybe he's the one who can give him what he's looking for and might be the perfect guy to come in and steal this spot in the gauntlet. I wouldn't mind seeing. I hope they do something very meaningful at the show, and I hope if he is going to debut for AEW, do it at a show like this where it makes a real big impact. And if I'm AEW, every name I just said should be involved if they don't have another match on the show. I don't want to see anybody sitting on the sideline. The Casino Gauntlet doesn't have to have, I don't necessarily need 50-man Royal Rumble level stuff, but I would take every guy you got under contract and get him out there, even if it was for 2 minutes, just to give everybody a chance to be on a show of that magnitude. Why not? Action Andretti's and you name it, anybody who's there, Evan Bournes, whoever is signed to a contract, get him out there. MSK, all these guys, get them all out there, get them some time on your biggest show of the year. I'd love to see it, and I'd love to see Tony Khan really using his talent and maximizing your utility, especially when you're paying their contracts. Why not? That's all the time we have for this episode. Do me a favor, like, share, comment, or subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the episode. Tell me what you love. Tell me what you're not in agreement with. Give us some kind of comment. It helps the logarithm. We'd love to hear from our audience. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, like I said earlier, make sure you call the Pro Wrestling Sound Off line, 267-642-1160. Let me know, because I want to do episodes where I respond to fan questions like we did last week. Very helpful, very exciting to engage with you guys. I want to make you guys a part of the show. That being said, if you're looking to bring a new friend to family game night, it's easy. I got 3 options for you. Sketchy People by Beazle Games. It's kind of like a cross between Chutes and Ladders and Pictionary. Or, if you want to go into the supermarket, show who's got the mad skills to get in, get out with all the goods, you could grab this game called Banani Market by Doodle Games. Or, maybe you just want to cruise the cosmos, collect relics, and go on your way to the final challenge. Do that in Legendary Elements by Fufu Games. All 3 games available at thegamecrafter.com. Got to support independent creativity just like independent wrestling, and that's exactly what thegamecrafter.com does. Check all 3 games out today. If you're looking for your next career move, you're considering college, university life, maybe you just need some formal training for your next career decision, go to my website at frolifeplanning.com for all your higher education needs, as Fro Life Educational Planning is for today, for tomorrow, and for life with Fro Life. I'm Fred Froelich, better known as Dr. Fro. I want to thank you for taking some time with us today. Until next time, take care, everybody. Have a great night.